Almost all the graves in this cemetery near the Turkish-Iranian border are of young men under the age of 25. They were smugglers killed by Iranian border guards. One of them was Recep, just 16 years old. He was killed a year ago. His friend Yunus was with him at the time.
We were just a few meters from the Turkish border when Iranian soldiers began firing at us without warning. We were running away when my friend Recep was hit in the head and fell down. We were afraid to go back to him. We waited at a distance and called out his name. Then the Iranian soldiers called out, "We've killed your friend. You can pick him up and take him back to Turkey."
The Iranian border is just a few hundred meters away from Yunus's village, Tulganu. Winters here are long and hard, and there are no jobs. Smuggling across the Iranian border is the only way these families can earn a living. And so in the evenings, 17-year-old Yusuf and his uncle Ibrahim saddle their horses to ride across. They're smuggling cheap diesel and canisters from Kurdish villagers in Iran back to Turkey.
I really don't like to do this. I am afraid. But what should I do? I have to think of my children. How else can I feed them?
The border between Iran and Turkey stretches for 500 kilometers, mostly through rugged, sparsely populated territory. It's hard to keep under surveillance, and that makes smuggling relatively easy. The mayor of the district capital, Özalp, says 40 people have been killed in the last year and a half in his area alone.
The authorities do nothing more than perform an autopsy on the body. Complaints and charges from relatives or human rights activists are ignored. Of course, these border crossings are illegal. But the region is impoverished and the politicians in Ankara don't treat it equally. If there's no other way to earn a living here, why should the people regard smuggling as wrong?
Iranian border guards turned their most recent victim over to the Turkish authorities in mid-January. The Turkish government says nothing about the dead smugglers, apparently to avoid clouding its close relations with Iran, which supplies a third of Turkey's oil and gas imports. The European Union expects Turkey to alter its policies toward Iran and to improve the situation of the Kurdish population in the region. Turkish security forces limit their search for smugglers to the roads approaching the border. They're on the lookout for trucks smuggling cheap cigarettes out of Iran. Dinner in the village of Tulganu. Yunus and Ibrahim fortify themselves for the dangerous ride across the border. 17-year-old Yunus is already a father. He would rather work in a factory, but as a Kurd, he would have trouble finding a job in the more affluent west of Turkey. The women are afraid their husbands may not return.
Of course I don't want them going over there, but we have no choice. When they're out at night, I lie awake here and wonder whether they'll come back alive.
The price the village pays for the smuggling is high. 11 dead, 40 injured, and 50 dead horses so far. But when dusk falls, the Shingils ready their horses again. New diesel is said to have arrived in the Iranian village just the other side of the border.
If I bring 2 full canisters back, I've earned the equivalent of 20 euros. We risk our lives for that.
It's minus 10 degrees Celsius as they head out. On horseback, the round trip takes an hour, if they can evade the Iranian patrols.